Hey, thanks, Ted, for coming back and doing our final video. So I'd like to start out with a question, if that's okay with you. My clients, my students, people in my investment club, they really want to know, can they do this online?
Yes, we have special courses within our programs that just teach online. So what we recommend is learn how to do it. And you could go to local auctions and watch and things like that if you want. We recommend that. But we can do everything online. So I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to show you a woman that lives in Alberta, Canada. Now, Alberta, Canada is way over in the western part of Canada. It's a great big province. And she is buying online, okay? Now, these people are buying, and they're sometimes making 3 times their profit. Other people are making 5 times their profit, because what they're doing is they're buying low, they're buying for back taxes, and then they're reselling that property. And when you buy at a tax defaulted auction, when you buy there, what you're going to see is that property starting bid is just the back taxes, and there's no mortgage on tax defaulted property. No mortgage. Everybody wants no mortgage. And so that's what they can do. So I'll show you a video now. Matter of fact, I'll show you a couple of videos in succession here of females staying at home buying online. Now, that doesn't mean guys can't do it too, but let's just show you 2 of those right now.
My name's Deb Murphy, and I'm here in Kelowna, British Columbia. I had purchased my first property. I bought it for $24,000. It'll literally sell for $70,000. I'll probably list it around 75, 76, and it'll sell. I did it all online, by phone and by computer. Ted's material showed me that I can depend on the county records, what's online as far as property appraisers records, what's online as far as all the documentation around a property, that I could depend on knowing 75% of what's going on with that property without even stepping foot on it. So there's just so much more available online, and that's why we can do it successfully now from Canada. Ted really fills out the full picture. He wants you to be successful.
Okay, now that first woman, her name was Deborah, and she never bought real estate at all. And the first deal she did, she stayed at home and she bought in Florida. And then she got really smart. She said she bought in a resort. It was a mobile home in a resort. And she found out the resort said, look, we got a big demand for rental here. Would you put in the rental pool? Now, she invested $10,000 and she put it in the rental pool for $875 a month. So that's a 40% first year return. 40%. She spent her whole life hiring, people like investment counselors and all this stuff. She said she never made 5%. Her first year by herself, she made 40%. That's pretty good, right? All right, now the next one is just a young gal. She's just a young gal, and she heard about this, and she's actually a lineman for the county. Do you know what that is? They climb up the pole and fix the poles, fix the wires. And so this gal, she's a delight. She's about 28 years old, because young people pick all kinds of different professions. And she tripled her money on her first deal. Tripled her money on her first deal. And here she comes.
I'm Shannon Ulrich. A year ago today, we hadn't heard of Ted Thomas. With selling my first tax deed, I made 2 times my yearly salary in that 6-month period. We paid around $34,000. And then 6 months later, we were able to sell it for $135,000, which was 3.7 times our investment. Taking action can be frightening when you're stuck in a rut. Unless you want to be a drone all your life. I have a friend who refers to people that go to work 9 to 5 as drones. Yeah. 1 year after meeting Ted Thomas, I am a happier, wealthier person, that I feel alive, and I feel my potential more than I did a year ago. This program has given me 2 more years of my life where I didn't have to be going to an office. So it was no biggie to quit my job. Now I get to be a grandma, and every day is a Saturday.
All right, there she is. And you can see she's bubbly and excited. She's already done her second deal, and she just keeps her job. The beauty of this is you can do it from home, and you can do it part-time. You see, all the tax auctions are scheduled, so you can say, oh, I think I'll take my vacation, day before, day after, and that kind of thing. So you don't have to leave. You can stay at your job. You just keep your job until you get this going and have enough money on hand. So it's very, very interesting. Very interesting.
That sounds great. Hey, the question I have for you is we have a lot of new investors in the group, and a lot of them are getting started with little money. Can they get started, say, as little as $500?
Yes, and that's a good place to start. For example, you're not going to buy a property there. You don't want to buy any low-end properties. You don't want to do that because they're not, in good repair. And properties that aren't in good repair, they're hard to sell. Now, if you're a fixer-upper person, you might say, oh, Ted, I can do that. But I'm telling people not to do that. I mean, I've been doing this 25 years. But if I show you this list, I can't show you up close, but this is one list. This list has about 16,000 tax certificates. So there's some on here for $50. There's some for $150. And I'm going to show you a video now because a guy challenged me. He said, can I get in the business for $500? And you're going to see he got in for less than $500, but he bought the certificate. Now, if you buy a tax certificate and the people don't pay for it, you get the property. This guy's going to get the property. Watch this.
I learned about tax liens from you many years ago. You came to Vancouver, you taught some people about tax liens, what they were, how they worked, and how us as Canadians could go down to the United States and invest in different tax lien properties and tax sale properties. And I got pretty excited about what I learned because I thought, well, this is something that I could do. There was not a huge investment required, and I actually invested in several properties, several different tax certificates, and it didn't take long before I got a phone call and I realized that actually I ended up owning some properties right at the very beginning. I don't know if it was beginner's luck or taking your course or doing what you taught me, but it worked out pretty good. I bought was this one right here, and the total certificate cost $132.50. And 2 months went by, and then I was mailed this piece of paper right here, which is actually the deed to the property. I actually ended up owning the property. This is the picture right here. What happened to me was I thought, well, I don't live there, and how can I do what you taught me to do, which is get rid of it really quickly? And so I went and knocked on the house next door, and this guy answered the door. His name is Kevin, and so I said, Kevin, what do you feel this property's worth? He said about $15,000. I said, would you take 10? He said, sure. And here we are shaking hands on the deal right there. And it didn't take long before I got another letter mailed to me, and it was for the deed to this property right here. The actual tax lien certificate cost about $2,000, and this particular property was worth over $100,000. He didn't believe he could do it, and he ended up making $10,000. Now, it's really pretty simple because he bought the certificate, the people didn't pay. Then when he went and found out what he bought, he said it was a residential lot, so he just sold it to the guy next door. The guy next door was happy to buy it, so that's how simple it is.
Hey, Ted, here at the Montgomery County Investor Group, we have over 2,500 members.
Wow.
Now, are there enough deals for everyone?
Wow. There are so many deals. In the United States, there's over 100 million homes. And the average year, 2.5 to 3 million will go into tax default. 2.5 to 3 million. So a place like New York State, and I'll show you, have some go across the screen while I'm talking. A place like New York State, you could go within 100 miles of New York City and find 300 properties. And your club isn't even going to buy 300 properties. You're going to go to a place like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You're going to find on the low end properties, you're going to find anywhere from 50 to 150 every year. If you went to Los Angeles County, we don't want to forget those people. It's like a telephone book. The book is this thick. It has 2,500 properties every year. So there's plenty for everybody. When you start out small, learn how to do it. If you want to play with the big boys, I'm going to tell you there's properties that have 50 acres, 500 acres. Farms go to auction, ranches go to auction, little bungalow houses, beach property goes for auction, lakefront properties go for auction. You'd just be astonished.
Right. So you're telling me that this will work in all states, right from the comfort of my home?
It'll work in all states from the comfort of your home. Now, you have to get good on the computer. You'll have to get good at research, but you can't make mistakes. So what? You just change the screen and start over again, right? All right. So if you can do that, you can do it. Now, we have classes on that. I have a website that's called the Resource Center. they'll teach you how to research property right on that website. Right on the website. And so every question they could have can be answered, and they can practice from their home. Our classes are done online and in person. Now, you'd be surprised when I tell you this. Every day in my office, I said every day now, there's someone that they can talk to on the phone for customer service that will show them around and how to do things. So there's someone to counsel. These are really guides or like facilitators that will show them around. We don't charge for it. The people get it. If they become a customer, they get that. It's every single day. We've been doing this for 25 years.
Hey, Ted. Yeah, I want to thank you again for taking time and spending it with us. I'm really thankful that you and I had a conversation previously and that you're excited to come out to the Pennsylvania area. And I'd like to welcome everybody to take the opportunity to come out and actually meet Ted live. So bring your questions. And just click below the link to get registered for the event, and we'd love to see you there.
So long, everyone. Bye.